Hello to all of you HUD buds. Have we got a show for you today? In this episode, James Greenhaw takes you back in time to look at Starfox as a series in our new installment of RetroFIT. Also, we take a look at how video games may or may not work in real life. And of course, put our scores to your favorite television shows, movies, and video games. It's all shown here on Heads Up Display.
Me, Mario! Nobody's faster than me!
Welcome to another episode of Heads Up Display, where we stare into the void of entertainment media, it stares back, and we give it a 10 out of 10. I'm Brian Lanning.
And I'm Garrett Wright. Brian, you know what you should do?
What?
Well, I've been thinking.
Yeah?
That you should really do a barrel roll.
Did you really just say that to me?
Yep.
Do a barrel roll! Do a barrel roll! Do a barrel roll! Do a barrel roll! Do a barrel roll!
Let's go, James, for a look at the Starfox series in another journey back in time. This is HUD RetroFIT.
It's about time you showed up, Fox! Starfox is a series that has seen many twists and turns and has spanned many console generations. And with the tantalizing news from Shigeru Miyamoto that a new Starfox game for Wii U is in the works, now is the perfect time to take a look back at the enduring series. Good luck!
Starfox is a franchise that has been around since the early days of video gaming, and if you were to say that it has overstayed its welcome or lost its direction as a series, you could be met with many an angry glare. To not acknowledge Starfox is to not acknowledge the growth of video gaming as a whole. This is the reason that Starfox is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. This is the reason I'm proud to take you on a look back at how Starfox and video games in general have grown. Our first stop on our HUD RetroFIT journey back in time is the year 1993. At this time, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System was in the living rooms of many households, and two-dimensional graphics in video games was the norm. The stage was set for an all-new series to begin. On March 26th, the first title in the Starfox franchise, appropriately titled Starfox, hit store shelves. Featuring three-dimensional ships, enemies, and environments, Starfox excited many gamers and set the bar for future graphical innovation on living room consoles to come. People who played this game were hooked from the beginning, as soon as a garbled voice wished them good luck, and they were off to defeat Andross with peppy hair, Slippy Toad, Falco Lombardi, and of course, Fox McCloud. Needless to say, the Starfox franchise was off to a great start. Our next stop is the year 1997. During that year, Nintendo released a new game on the Nintendo 64 that is one of the most beloved games of all time, and one of my personal favorites, Star Fox 64. In this new installment to the series, the original Star Fox was revamped in every possible way, and launched to an overwhelmingly positive audience. The game featured so many new, exciting ways to play that it's almost impossible to count them all. There were new 3D vehicles such as the Landmaster and the Blue Marine, new planets, new characters such as Cat and Bill, enhanced lightning-fast gameplay, compelling villains such as the rival Star Wolf team, and a slightly dark exposition and plot. All of these new additions to the series, coupled with some of the most entertaining voice acting of all time, etched this game in the annals of gaming history. One-liners upon one-liners from Star Fox 64 were memorized by the public and recited frequently. Andross has ordered us to take you down. Can't let you do that, Star Fox.
Whoa! Help me!
Andross won't have his way with me. Do a barrel roll! And many more. It was clear that the Star Fox series was going strong, and the public couldn't wait for what Nintendo would give them next. Now we journey to the year 2002. The public was already ablaze about a possible new Star Fox game, and Star Fox Adventures was released for the Nintendo GameCube. Developed by Rareware instead of its primary producer Shigeru Miyamoto and Nintendo, Star Fox Adventures was received well critically, but a large portion of the gaming public frowned upon the gameplay. The game centered around Fox McCloud adventuring, hence the title, around a large planet in order to save dinosaurs and a new character named Crystal. Some naysayers argue that Rareware had not made a Starfox game because of the radical change between the on-rail shooter formula to a 3D adventure feel reminiscent of the Legend of Zelda series. Fun fact, that argument does hold some ground, as the game was originally conceived as a 3D adventure game for the N64, like Rareware's other titles, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Donkey Kong 64, and would have been called Dinosaur Planet. But Shigeru Miyamoto conversed with Rare, and the game was recoded with Starfox assets. The series turned in a downward perspective due to many of the fans' outcries. Later, in the year 2005, another GameCube Starfox game was released, titled Star Fox Assault. This game returned to the original rail shooter formula, and it added on-foot segments along with other new characters. Also, the graphics had risen in quality dramatically from the original N64 title. However, the game was developed by Namco. Again, some members of the public claimed it wasn't a true Starfox game, and were left unsatiated and displeased. Finally, in 2006, Star Fox Command was released on the Nintendo DS. Despite being again developed by a third party, Q Games, it stuck to the franchise's roots, being an on-rail space shooter. Along with that playstyle, it incorporated an RTS-style planning option with the DS touchpad and online play. Also, it's important to note that this was the first handheld Star Fox game, which paved the way for Star Fox 64 3D to be released later on in 2011 on the Nintendo 3DS. The public was relatively at ease regarding this game's release, and have greatly recognized Star Fox Command as the closest Star Fox game has been to its landmark second installment. For some time, no news was heard about another Star Fox game until a Nintendo Direct news update and a tech demo indeed confirmed that Shigeru Miyamoto was creating a Star Fox game on the Wii U. Recent footage of the game showed the usage of a dual-screen approach with the Wii U gamepad, and boasts more vehicles and cinematic graphics, along with the return of the whole Star Fox team in full force. Also, the game is expected to be released this year. I'm hyped. Is anyone else hyped? Anyways, who knows what Star Fox has in store for us in the future? All we know is that Star Fox has grown and adapted along with video games and has made a lasting mark on the video game universe. And I'm sure I can say that we're all truly grateful. That's it for this installment of RetroFIT. I've been James Greenhaw, and we've got so much more HUD goodness ahead, so let's get on with the show.
Testing. System ready.
Made it home safe and sound.
Hey guys, I'm Angelo Condes,
And I'm Jacob Hicks.
and today we're reviewing an action-packed Netflix series that demands a binge watch. It is Marco Polo.
Marco Polo follows the young, naive, and ambitious Marco accompanying his father on a merchant expedition along the Silk Road of the Mongolian Empire. A series of unfortunate events unfold, and they meet face to face with Genghis Khan's grandson, Kublai Khan. The scope of the show unfolds into a large-scale look at the Mongol Empire and its confrontations with the Song Dynasty of China. It speaks volumes for the show's immersion because it isn't hard for viewers to follow the big picture concepts surrounding the two empires instead of solely following Marco's mishaps.
The pacing of the show starts slow, but steadily ramps up into an action-packed joyride full of plot twists, betrayals, and cliffhangers. The acting is solid as well, with Benedict Wong stealing the show as the intimidating Kublai Khan. The various locations differ incredibly from one another, and the costumes, effects, and camera work add so much to make the world even more engrossing. This Netflix exclusive has delivered very well, and we recommend you give it a watch. Marco Polo gets 9 Marco
Polo!
out of 10.
Tread carefully, Master Polo. Your words can get you killed.
Hey y'all, I'm Riley Dees.
And I'm Chris Grubbs.
and we're reviewing 2 more movies that we can't wait to see again. Kingsman, The Secret Service, and Whiplash.
Kingsman: The Secret Service gives us a darkly humorous twist on what we've come to know as the spy movie. It does so with a style akin to the Quentin Tarantino films. The story follows Gary Eggsy Unwin, a young, troubled kid off the streets of the UK, as he is found by the James Bond-esque spy and mentor, Harry Hart. Eggsy then trains and becomes one of the best spies in the independent Kingsman organization, and undertakes a risky operation to thwart the plan of a devious entrepreneur. The movie is entertaining to watch and exhibits enjoyable characters, dialogue, and camera work. My only complaint is that the score could have made this movie a bit more memorable, in my opinion. Other than that, Kingsman: The Secret Service was a good watch, and we give it 9 manners maketh mans out of 10.
Manners maketh man. Do you know what that means? Then let me teach you a lesson.
It's been hard for me to pitch Whiplash to my friends, but trust me, this movie is well worth the watch. The story follows Andrew Neiman, a freshman in college who aspires to be an internationally known percussionist. He enrolls in an intense conservatory and becomes the student of a petrifying music director named Terrence Fletcher, who only tolerates perfection in his students. The score in this film has to be one of the best I've heard this year, but the acting is impeccable. The cinematography is outstanding, and the sympathy we feel for Andrew adds to the immersion of this whole movie. It deserves A's across the board because it's such a well-made and powerful drama. This is undoubtedly one of my favorites from 2014, and maybe one of my 10 favorite movies ever. In a year which we saw tremendous, groundbreaking, and innovative new films such as Birdman and Boyhood, this movie is on par with aforementioned flicks. I recommend this to anyone who loves an intense drama, as well as admires the technical, artsy side of films. We give Whiplash 9.8 rim shots out of 10.
Let's go get some hot chocolate. Sounds good to me.
Friendship.
Hi everyone, I'm Nathan Kirksey.
And I'm Nick Miller.
And we'll be capping off this episode's review segment with our reviews of the Order 1886, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and the classic Stanley Parable.
Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate is a masterpiece. Despite not having a particularly engrossing story, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate has delivered another beautifully crafted, breathtaking game that is both enjoyable and infuriating at the same time. The player begins the game not knowing in the slightest how to be a monster hunter, but through the player's own skill and commitment, he or she gains parts from larger and larger monsters to build better armor, improve their weapons, and fight even larger monsters than before. Each weapon style that a monster hunter can undertake alters gameplay immensely and changes how combat feels. This is great because it provides every hunter an opportunity to fight with a weapon that feels good to them. This tremendously increases replayability, because along with the wonderfully responsive online play, each hunter can play with a unique weapon and unique strategies to fight each and every unique monster. The sound design in this game is impeccable, as each location that you visit has a distinct soundtrack that changes depending on the player's situation. Also, the victory song that plays at the end of every quest flawlessly gives the player a sense of true accomplishment, which is deserved, because some of the missions in this game are very difficult. The gameplay is quick, precise, and slightly difficult to master. But as you become more familiar with your chosen weapon and the monsters you're facing, what follows can only be described as epic. Just picture yourself climbing a sheer mountain cliff above a ravenous bird, dragon, or shark thing which you jump on to from way high up on the cliff. Once you land on it, you have to hold on to the monster as it tries to shake you off. See? Epic. If you don't believe me, try for yourself. We give Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate 9.8 So Tasties out of 10.
Tasty!
The Order 1886 is like Derek Zoolander. It's really, really ridiculously good looking, but that's it. The game is set in an alternate history Victorian London. You play as Sir Galahad, a knight of the Round Table, as he sets out to uncover a conspiracy from within the Order. During the game, Sir Galahad battles werewolves or half-breeds and a rebel faction, which opposes the rule of Queen Victoria.
The story starts strong, but begins to fall apart near the end due to poor writing. The gameplay consists of 3 non-engrossing sections: a bland third-person shooter, an unimaginative platformer, and listening to NPCs while they open doors for you. And QuickTime events. Lots and lots of QuickTime events. So if you like QuickTime events, buy this game. The imaginative weapon design does its best to make up for the generic shooting system, but it doesn't quite do it, however. The graphics and sound are the best part of this game by far, and the breathtaking recreation of Victorian England and the terrifying design of the enemies is pretty cool, but the voice acting and weapon sounds as good as any AAA title. I yearned for more substance from the gameplay, but didn't receive what I wanted, as after the credits rolled, that was it. If the gameplay was on par with this game's graphics, then I would have enjoyed The Order 1886. With that said, we give The Order 1886 5.5 godless heathens out of 10.
Swine!
The Stanley Parable is an interactive story where you control Stanley as he ventures throughout his office in search of his missing colleagues and the meaning of life. You control his destiny while every move is narrated by the deep and awesome voice of Kevin Brighting. This game runs in a sort of pick-your-own-adventure style where the storyline goes wherever you want it to go. Replayability is encouraged in this game because there are a multitude of choices and endings that Stanley can explore, and each scenario is a quick finish. So, the choices that have already been made are fresh on the player's mind. The sound and gameplay are both quirky, but only make the game a more enjoyable experience. This game has been praised for being just plain fun, and we don't feel any different. We give The Stanley Parable a solid 9 meaningless achievements out of 10.
5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Good luck.
Use the brake! You got an enemy on your tail! Do a barrel roll!
Hey, thanks for the ride, man.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh!
Well, that's it for this episode of Heads Up Display. Thanks for watching.
Check out our org sync page and our website to stay up to date on our HUD goings-on.
There, you can watch older episodes, read our staff bios, and get more information about how to join our organization.
For now, though, we're drawing this episode to a close. I'm Garrett Wright.
And I'm Brian Lanning.
And this has been Heads Up Display.